Innovation is kind of like air to Elon Musk, he needs it and is always searching for it, that's why he's constantly impressing us. Elon Musk is a billionaire who is far from ordinary. He is always doing something that will inevitably benefit the entire world, whether it be starting Tesla or investing in the future of kids via his own school, where they're taught in a unique manner. There is a good reason why he is loved by literally millions of people around the world. This video is not going to tell you that all of these devices and ideas will come true. That is not always the case with innovations that aren't directly in the final process of creation. We're just letting you know that Elon Musk has got a few really cool and useful ideas that might come to life in the near or distant future. Let's take a look into the future. 25 innovations Elon Musk has plans for. Cargo spacecraft. The spacecraft that can bring tons of supplies to distant lands will be a revolutionary discovery. This is similar to the first transport ships that were used on Earth. They changed the game of being able to live somewhere difficult. For example, if a transport ship was used to supply a Mars colony, it could reduce the number of total trips needed, which would save money in the long run. A cargo spacecraft can certainly change how we travel in space. It can even change how far we can currently go, much like what our ancestors did in the past. Ultra-rapid transit. Who wouldn't want to move super fast across the entire United States? It's a great opportunity for anyone that hates long flights, road trips or pretty much anything that requires a long period of time. The ultra-rapid transit option is also known as Hyperloop, and it works by using a tuber series of tubes to limit air resistance and have pods travel at high speeds over long distances. The submarine car. This is something straight out of James Bond. Imagine being able to just drive your car underwater. It's something that can be used in films, for rescue operations, and just outright fun. While it may not be fully developed, the concept is fairly simple. All you need to do is make a vehicle airtight and capable of traveling underwater. This means that there would have to be an airlock and likely some oxygen tanks. Since there's pressure, this brainchild of Elon will need some form of a high-pressure resistant glass or digital window. Hyperspeed jet. This is kind of like the Hyperloop system, but is instead a jet that will travel further than the speed of sound and take off and land vertically. The simple fact that it would travel faster than the speed of sound is not new by any stretch, but it's hard to do because you need to maintain a certain speed to both break the barrier and get to where you want to go. This is something that is without a doubt revolutionary. It will enable people to travel faster and will likely do the same for transporting items. Since it's very similar to the previous system, it will probably just remain a dream, or it will be slapped into another piece of future tech. More advanced electric cars. Electric vehicles are pretty important to the future of travel, as it's far easier to charge something electrically than use a gas-powered car that won't get you what you need. An advanced electric car will likely be more efficient than a gas-powered vehicle. On top of that, many people like the idea. Elon Musk would like to bring this reality towards us, as in, he wants the world to have better electric cars so that we don't need to use gas and add to pollution. This is why he's one of the people spearheading the movement. Internet satellites. Internet via satellite. It seems fairly simple but can be very costly. Elon Musk, however, would like to make it affordable for people as well as provide a decent service. These two things are great for creating a company, but are even better for people who might want a good service that won't make them take a second mortgage out on their house. The entire idea has been approved by the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, to launch a few thousand of the satellites. This is essentially the start of something that could bring global broadband to millions of people. Affordable space travel. Space travel is fairly expensive at the moment. It's said that it costs around $10,000 per pound to launch something into orbit. This means that, currently, space travel is literally only for the trillionaires out there instead of the average Joe. Elon Musk, as the visionary that he often is, would like to make it available to the average Joe for a decent cost. This means that he'll need to develop reusable rockets, fuel-efficient thrusters, and boosters. Alongside that, he will need to make sure that everything works flawlessly. Mars colony. Mars is the planet that will be our next trip as humans. NASA is more than interested in it, and so is Elon Musk. He wants to make sure that a colony does appear on the red planet. In fact, he's making some amazing strides by gaining support from people all around the world. If he did not have support, he would not be looking into this further with the SpaceX team. The colony would be able to provide us with information that could prove beneficial in the world of space exploration, specifically how humans react to long periods of time and space without having a ton of human contact, as well as how people feel about being on a planet like Mars. There's also the benefit of a ton of scientific research. Improving SpaceX. SpaceX is like any other company, it has its shortcomings and that is completely normal. The entire idea of it is to try and make the next frontier more accessible now rather than later. This is why Elon Musk would like to get it running on a more efficient aspect. If he does do that, it means we could be getting our space flights in the near future. Putting Tesla back on track. This is another thing that is very similar to the issues of SpaceX. It is mostly just not getting stuff out by the stated date. This is normal though, especially if a company has to develop a lot of the technologies themselves, and that's why most people don't get angry at SpaceX or Tesla. Elon Musk, however, has a deep focus on Tesla and clearly would love to see it succeed, since it would not only help him out, but millions of other people, as well as the environment. Tesla is that type of company that goes off on a tangent every now and then, but can be put on a track with a little more attention being paid to it. The SolarCity operation. SolarCity is just a fascinating operation if you enjoy the world of solar panels and powering stuff with the power of the sun itself. One cool thing that SolarCity had created was the solar roof. It was so unique and innovative that it actually gained a ton of media attention. The company merged with Tesla in 2016 and now offers energy storage solutions with Tesla. It's certainly something that can aid a lot of people in going green in unique ways, especially if it helps merge with the Tesla Powerwall. Musk Foundation. Many billionaires tend to try and share their wealth by opening up a foundation to reward those who need to go to school and don't have a ton of cash to actually attend. Elon Musk does this to some extent with his Musk Foundation, which was created in 2002. Apparently, grants are made in support of things like human space exploration and renewable energy. It can actually really aid groups and people do what benefits pretty much everyone down the line. Ad Astra, the school he started. The name might sound odd to you, but it's fairly simple. It's a saying in Latin that roughly translates to the stars. It's something that makes a lot of sense to be connected to a man such as Elon Musk. The school is non-traditional, which means that the kids will learn things that everyone can learn, but in a unique format. For example, if a kid was to want to learn about physics, well, why not consistently apply those physics to real life instead of just a theory portion? That is one of the things the students of said school might be able to do. Self-driving semi-trucks. Semi-trucks are fairly useful because they allow for transportation of many items in a short period of time. Currently, having a driver for the said vehicle can become expensive, and the future of self-driving vehicles knows this and is likely going to replace the drivers soon. Self-driving semi-trucks will just be another point in time when technology allows us to get our packages on the same day, simply because there is no fatigue of driving, since there's no actual driver. Is BFR rocket. The name might sound intimidating, but fear not, because it's just a reusable rocket. This means that it can be used more than once, and for such a simple concept, it has actually taken a long time to adapt. This rocket is one that can apparently even carry more cargo than the Saturn V, which is a rather popular rocket for our time period. On top of that, there is the aspect that it can be used to bring supplies up in space, but also people, and a lot of them. This is why the BFR rocket is so useful and innovative. It allows us to do what we could not before. He wants to help fix damaged brains. It is often a difficult and unfixable situation when someone's brain stops functioning the way it's supposed to. Currently, there is no clear way of actually fixing the issue, because as advanced as our technology is, we just don't know enough about the brain yet to be able to fix every bug that might pop up. Elon Musk, the innovator that he seems to want to try and develop tools to actually fix this issue. This is a bold and difficult task, especially with a lot of people who would love to see this become a reality of their world. Brain interfaces for healthy individuals. We already know that Elon Musk would like to find a way to help fix damaged brains, but for the brains that might not be damaged, he is working with the company he founded known as Neuralink. Its main goal is to simply create a brain-to-computer interface that actually works. The idea is not new, but getting it to work properly is truly difficult because of how complicated the brain tends to get when strapped into what some might call an outright computer device. One of his goals is to make half of the cars in the US electric. It's no surprise that the spearhead in electric cars would like to make half of all the cars in the United States electric. There are two benefits to this want, the first being the environment might be better off, and the second being that he can make some decent profit from it all. It's technically an all-round good deal for everyone. This is why Elon Musk would want to make so many vehicles in the US and likely the world electrically run. Other than that, it is also a pretty useful thing to have, since more people seem to want to avoid using gas-operated vehicles. We would like all cars to be autonomous. The autonomous car is a fear of many people simply because they don't have faith in technology to do its job. However, Elon Musk is not one of those people, since one of these goals is to get all cars under the category of autonomous in the eyes of the people. It's a move that will likely be highly debated and even protested by millions. At the current time, it's not really a big deal, but it is getting to that point where it can become a normal argument like anything in the world. Betting space tourists. Space is the ultimate frontier, and being able to just see it on a video is something that a lot of people are grateful for. But what if you could see it in person, kind of like an astronaut, but without all the extra needed education requirements? Space tourism is undoubtedly going to be big once people start to realize that the price will eventually go down. Space tourism is something that most people could never even fathom, but Elon Musk is determined to make it a reality. Manned Mars mission. It's a fact that we have sent several rovers to the red planet, and that is totally okay. It is actually pretty useful considering how often planets tend to be inhospitable and generally dangerous for humans or living being. This is why a rover goes first. However, it may not be pretty, but it is certainly somewhat hospitable in terms of sending a human there. This is why Elon would like to ensure that this actually goes down. It would be something that can speed up the process of human space travel in the short term. Interplanetary transport system. This is kind of linked to the BFR system that we spoke of earlier. This time it is directly focused on moving people from one place to another simply because they can, once it's developed, of course. The ETH, as it's often referred to, is mostly focused on Mars, while the BFR is focused on the entire idea of transport. The system would operate by using a BFR in the process of getting people and items to Mars by the date of 2024, which is really difficult considering the time frame. However, the idea can be used in more than one area. It can be copied and pasted to be used on other planets that we eventually explore. Car elevator prototype for the electric sled. The car elevator is going to make traveling by car so much fun, rather than a frustrating experience that destroys your steering wheel. The elevator would lower you down into a tunnel, and then the sled would transport your car at high speeds to a destination. This means that you can in theory bypass traffic by just using the service. It also means the roads will be far more efficient than before. While the actual speed is unknown, it's surely going to be something that a lot of people use, especially if they're subject to road rage whenever in traffic. First major transit route. Transit is very important, and this really goes hand in hand into the car elevator and sled. In fact, this is the tunnel that we just spoke about. The first tunnel that is near completion is the one in Los Angeles. It will be most useful there as traffic is terrible, and people often complain about having to sit in it, so this may be their solutions. In fact, it said that the tunnel will be offering free demo rides to the public. This means that people would actually be able to test it out, but it's only 2.7 miles long. However, the short distance shouldn't be an issue since most people work in the city. There is also going to be a tunnel for Chicago and other cities around the United States. The tripling of superchargers. Elon Musk would also like to triple the number of Tesla superchargers that are out and about in the world. Essentially, he wants to increase production and use of them. Currently, the superchargers are rather rare to see if you're not in specific locations in the world such as Los Angeles. Tripling the amount might increase sales of the Tesla vehicle because more people would not have to worry about places to actually charge up their cars. It's a good idea but will require a lot of bureaucracy and money.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and comment your thoughts on the topic or what future videos you would like to watch. Hit the notification bell for more videos. Until next time, goodbye and stay safe.